This past week, the U.S. hit an all-time high in unemployment since World War II, 16.6 million people unemployed. I've seen a bunch of estimates from some economists. I've seen some from the Society of Human Resources Management. They're talking about that may double in the next several weeks.
Now, Don, from what I understand, currently that those numbers would mean 1/6 of our workforce is currently unemployed. If that number doubles, then we're talking about 1/3 of our entire population then either not working or unemployed.
That's correct. And if you think about that, this country hasn't seen that kind of number since the Great Depression. I hate to say, I'm thinking 32 million, 30 million Americans out of work probably is not going to be out of the question.
This is Laura Kemp, Coldwell Banker Gundaker, and I had a great opportunity through my BNI Success Express group to meet Don Ascare with PBJM HR Consultants. And with today's market, so many clients that are going through unemployment, reduced hours, furloughed, I really wanted to be able to talk to someone about the options for employees and small business owners. So Don, what's a quick intro about you?
Okay, well, first of all, thanks for inviting me to share information regarding it. And today I just want to kind of talk about what the federal government and what the state of Missouri's response has been and the available resources to folks who have been laid off or displaced or furloughed because of the COVID-19 pandemic that we're all going through right now. Just a little bit about us. As Laura mentioned, I'm Don Ascare. I'm the owner of PBJM HR Consultants. We're located here in beautiful Troy, Missouri. And by the way, PBJM does not stand for peanut butter jelly and marshmallow fluff. We are a full-service HR consultants agency and advisory, helping people and business owners solve their HR challenges. Prior to doing this, I started PBJM back in 2014. I was a global HR manager and executive with Johnson & Johnson, General Electric, and MasterCard for about 25 years. So today, we are all facing uncharted and unprecedented times that this great country really hasn't seen since World War II or the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic. So today, I just want to limit my comments to the employment and the professional side of people's lives to try to offer some assistance here. The good news is that our government has been fairly responsive and fairly quickly for a government as they can be, and they've actually implemented a three-step approach to help all Americans impacted by the pandemic. I'm not going to turn this into a conversation of a bowl of government alphabet soup, and I'll only highlight the short story version of what the various acts are and how they help people. And I would highly recommend folks that view this, if you want more specific information, please go to labor.mo.gov/coronavirus. The Missouri Department of Labor has put some great information out there. Visit their website. The first phase I want to talk about is phase one, the Coronavirus Preparedness and Response Supplemental Appropriations Act. I offer you to say that 5 times fast. On March 6th, this was signed into law under President Trump. Though it has no direct impact on individuals, it really helped the healthcare industry get a handle on it. Phase 2 is really where things started to kick in for employees. And this is the Families First Coronavirus Response Act, the extension of the Emergency Family and Medical Leave Act.
Okay.
So on March 18th, President Trump signed this into law, and it applies to certain public employees and private employees with fewer than 500 folks. And it took effect on April 1st.
Sure.
What it provides for is up to 80 hours of paid sick leave for employees at their regular rate when the employee is unable to work because they are in quarantine. So either they've been put in quarantine by the state or local officials, maybe they're experiencing C-19 symptoms, or seeking a diagnosis to find out if they have the virus. So that would be 2 weeks at full pay. The second option is folks can get up to, once again, 80 hours, 2 weeks of sick pay at 2/3 of their regular rate if they're unable to work because they're caring for an individual who's in quarantine, someone who's sick, or they maybe have a child whose school is closed or unavailable for reasons due to related COVID-19. Given the fact that Governor Parsons has shut the state down, basically public schools are closed through the end of May, a lot of folks will be eligible for that. And then really the key piece of it, there's an additional 10 weeks of paid expanded family and medical leave at 2/3 of the employee's regular rate of pay. Two caveats are the person has to have been an employee for at least 30 calendar days prior, and they have to have a bona fide reason or need, such as caring for children that are home, or the business has been closed, where so many non-essential businesses have been closed. So that's a real boost from a Family and Medical Leave Extension Act for folks. Big, big plus. Kind of the phase 3 has been the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, or CARES Act.
Okay.
This has got a lot of attention. So under the FPUC, folks will be receiving an additional $600 paid on top of their weekly unemployment benefits for up to 4 months. So that'll be, so this is an extra $600 if you are unemployed, displaced, furloughed till the end of July. So in order to receive the $600, you must be eligible for the regular unemployment insurance that you would normally have. So if you are unemployed, by all means, I'll give you the address to the email website to apply to. Get out and apply for your unemployment.
Okay.
The key piece for folks who aren't typically have been eligible for unemployment is the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Act, or PUA. So this will provide regular unemployment insurance for folks who may not have been eligible for unemployment in the past. And this includes independent contractors, self-employed individuals, your 1099 folks, agricultural workers, who many times aren't.
Okay, so just recapping, so even I understand, there is the unemployment unemployment checks for folks that are employed by someone. They can be furloughed, laid off, temporarily reduced hours.
Yes, if they've cut your regular time, it's based on your last 4 quarters of earnings. So for instance, if you earn $20 an hour for the last 4 quarters and they've just reduced your hours in half, you'll be eligible for half of that amount.
All right.
And do that as soon as possible. So what does really all this mean for folks? So Missouri unemployment caps out at $320 per week. So if you basically earn $20 an hour or more for a year, you're going to max out at the $320 a week. So now with the new program out with the additional $600, if approved, you'll be receiving $920 until the end of July in unemployment compensation. The key thing is this only applies to people who have lost their job due to the C-19. And I've heard a lot of chatter on social media. Some folks are thinking about quitting their job so they can go out and collect this benefit. Don't do that, because if you go out and quit your job, you're going to get 0 benefits.
Or they're begging their employer to lay them off.
And I've actually talked with a couple of contractors that have run into that. They're busy. They're not going to do that. So by all means, please do not quit your job if you have a job.
Right. Well, quitting your job would be hard to get unemployment anyway.
Yeah, and they're going to be looking at it. So I kind of taking all this information and looking at it, what does the future hold for folks?
Right.
On the positive side, for people who have lost their jobs to C-19, they will benefit from FPUC until the end of July. They're going to be whole, maybe even better than whole from what they've been. Secondly, the people who previously haven't been covered by unemployment, specifically those independent contractors and self-employed folks and the agricultural workers, they may be covered. So there's a benefit there. So what's the future hold? What happens at the end of July? Candidly, at this point, it's really anybody's guess. For those folks that are impacted, the one thing that I will say to you is I know folks are scared and they're frustrated. You got to keep in mind that these state systems, particularly the unemployment systems, everything, are being overwhelmed. They were never built to handle this many claims, and they only have so many resources, and it would be at historic levels. So if you do find yourself either laid off or displaced or furloughed, get help as quickly as you can. But at the same time, please be patient, because folks are really trying to do the best they can. And if you have any questions, the best way to reach me is via email.
Okay.
Get out of it. You can reach me at Don.PBJM@gmail.com.
Well, that sounds great. Don, thank you so much for your time today. I think you gave us some great information. I know I learned a lot, but thank you so much this morning.
Anytime, Laura. Once again, greatly appreciate you offering to have me come on.
Thanks.
Thanks. Bye-bye.